In a previous video, we had a fox cub brought in with a broken leg. The damage was severe and fixing it required very specialist surgery. Luckily, Angus Anderson and his team offered to operate to save the cub's leg. An external fixator was applied to stabilise it, and after the surgery, the cub was brought back to Wildlife Aid to recover. A few weeks after the surgery, Maru took our fox cub with a broken leg to have an X-ray to see how it was recovering. Happy with the results, Maru decided it was time to remove the external fixator.
Right, I'm gonna be removing the X-fix. Hi, Foxy! I'm so excited! Oof, yeah, see, this is a pressure wound there because she's growing too fast. So we need to remove it. Vale. My head. Hi. Man, she was like half size when we did the surgery. She's huge. This was so complicated, the surgery. In Angus practice, and a vet called Federico Pulcini made the surgery. And it was really nice, but it was complicated and long. Because, for example, I'm used to do birds, and in the birds, everything is very obvious. Like the nerve is just there, you know? So you say nerves, I avoid the nerve. But in this one, he was like so careful at the beginning, trying to avoid nerves, vascularization. So he was like, okay, here is the nerve, here is this, here is that. So you need to be really, I didn't even try to do this. This feels quite stable, but I would say at least 1 week, if not a little bit longer. All right, so wakey, wakey.
I love you, Foxy. You're my favorite.
My favorite fox. She's not sleeping anymore. My sweet Foxy.
After a week or two of rest, this youngster will be ready for release.
So this is a fantastic time of year for us. This is when we release our fox cubs. So these are the last 7 that we've got with us at the moment. Includes the one that actually had a broken leg that was fixed by the wonderful Angus Anderson. They're all ready for release, and shortly they should find themselves in their new home.
Right. Food, foxes. Right, sideways on?
Yeah.
Good. Right, babbies.
Welcome to your new home.
Nearly wild foxes.
There you go.
While some of the cubs were feeling brave, others needed a little helping hand from Laurie to make their way into the pen.
Stop being silly. There you go. See, I'm not chasing you.
Well, this is our last 7 foxes. They're all in here now. They'll stay here for about 3 weeks probably, depending upon the weather and conditions, and they'll be released out. And that one just over there at the back, which you can't see, is the one that had his leg operated on. How he made it is a miracle really, because it was in such a bad way. It needed a real specialist orthopaedic surgeon to fix it. It was just fragments, it was awful. But he's absolutely fine now. You can't even see if this was limping. And he'll go out with the other 7 and live hopefully a happily long life. Cubs obviously in here will be fed all the time they're in here, but they'll also be fed as soon as we open the gate and let them out. Joy will continue to feed them for as long as they need it, as long as they're coming back for food, until they're self-sufficient. There's so much prey down here that they can grab. It's really great. It's a lovely location. But for now, they continue with their 7-star catering. Right, away and leave them alone. You're on your own, babies, nearly. After a few weeks in their new home, it was time for the enclosure door to open. It would now be a waiting game to see how long it would take for the cubs to leave the pen. After a short while, one cub began to take its first tentative steps into the wild. Hesitant yet curious, the cub was displaying typical behaviour for a wild fox. It didn't take long for the others to follow suit. Whilst food and water will still be left out for them, these cubs can now begin to fend for themselves. It's been a long journey, but thankfully these cubs seem to be rather happy living their new life in the wild. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel by pressing the red button, and make sure you hit the bell to get notifications of our latest content. If you want to help us save wildlife, please donate. Every pound you give will help us to save more wildlife.